All right, welcome back to the channel. Hope everybody is good this morning. Got good news. Terence Crawford can't run from this. Yes, he can, no. But Terence Crawford has been ordered to fight Shawn Porter. If that ain't good news, I don't know what is, man, because we're going to actually maybe we're going to get to see a good fight, a good competitive fight with Terence Crawford in it and see what he's made of against somebody that is around his skill set. What's going on? Adrian Vent in the building. What's going on with you? Kemp Wells says intellectual boxing talk at its best. Yes, sir. We try to keep it dome piece enriching around here. Dummies ain't welcome. George Green said, when are you going to fight again? Probably the next time I talk some shit to my wife. Other than that, I can't imagine myself being in another fight, dog. I ain't fighting, dude. I'm 52 years old. I ain't throwing hands with unless you come put your hands on me. I can't possibly see me reaching out to try to put no hands on somebody, man. When you get to be my age, shit breaks too easy, man. You throw a punch too hard, your fucking shoulders fucked up. Not going to do it, man. So, but thank you for asking. EJ Love said, what's going on, Martin? Chilling, just exciting about boxing. I was just saying that there doesn't seem to be a lot of really good fights going out of here because going on around. And I wake up this morning and I see the news that the WBO has ordered Shawn Porter, Terence Crawford, something I did not see happening. And I was pleasantly surprised. Nixon 6 says, Bud is going to violate football, Shawn. Violate him how? Violate him how? Hey, I'm going to tell you, man, if he does, good for him, because he would have proved that he's a real welterweight. I mean, a top-notch welterweight. As of right now, dude, he's fighting a bunch of cats that nobody think has a chance. So this is a legitimate fight against a top-tier welterweight. Nobody can say anything about it. Shawn Porter does not look like he's over the hill. Shawn Porter's looks like he's still in his prime, man. So I think this is a really good fight for Bud, a good opportunity for him to shut critics up. Now, I will tell you as we get on, there's a little bit of a shame that the WBO actually had to order the fight because Shawn Porter told Terence Crawford that he wanted the fight. And so Terence Crawford's like, yeah, okay, get in there and make him order me to fight you. Then I'll fight you. Like, that's just I don't know. What do you say? Like, what's the word that young folk would say for that shit? Yeah, that's some hoe shit. That's what they call. I think that's what you refer to, which is commonly referred to as some hoe shit. To have the WBO order you to fight a guy that wants to fight you. But that's the route that Bud went, and now they ordered him to fight him, and we'll see what happens in the negotiations because there's still more steps for that fight to take place. Because I still don't think that Terence Crawford wants that fight. I don't think, but this one, that's a pay-per-view fight, man. Paragons and Principles said, what's good, fam? What's going on with you, brother? How are you doing? Hope you all well. My man Robert Mangum says, salute OG Fannon. Thank you very much. What's good with you? Let me back this up a little bit. You think Bob Arum will let it happen? Israel Morales, that is an excellent question. Do I think that he'll let it happen? This is the scenario as I see it. The biggest holdup in it is whether or not they're going to be able to negotiate a fair deal between Terence Crawford and between, let me do what people want me to do, always say about it, between Shawn and Terence. If they're not able to do that, then it goes to purse bid. And in the situation where it goes to a purse bid, the split is like 75-25. 75-25. So I think it's still going to be, I still think it's going to be a little bit difficult to make it for it to happen because of the purse split. And I don't believe, I hope that what they can do is they can negotiate a Fox pay-per-view event for it so that they can work out and come up with some fair arrangement. If they're trying to do this 75-25 split, I don't think it's going to happen with a 75-25 split because Shawn Porter is going to want at least $3 million. He's going to want at least $4 million to fight Terence Crawford because that's the size of a fight it is. So I don't see that this is a fight that's going to be able to be made on regular ESPN. So, but we can get into the negotiations and what'll probably happen in the negotiations as we go through the comment section. I mean, as I go through the comment section, as we go through the live stream. Kitty Peeps in the building. What's going on, man? I'm chilling. Nuke Juice in the building. Always good to see Nuke Juice. And Southern T Boxing's laughing. I mean, that is what you call ho shit, though. Isn't that? Can somebody tell me? Isn't that what you call ho shit? I think you call that ho shit. When you're doing something where you're like, you could make it easy. It could be easy to get done, but you make them go the hard route. You make them take the hard route. You know what I'm saying? Omar Ali said, Bud is about to DOS Porter. Man, we got all 10 Bud fans in the building. That's good. What's up to the Bud? What's up to the Bud fans? I know you guys feeling some courage coming on out here. Why wouldn't he? I'm telling you, why wouldn't he just agree to the fight? Why wouldn't he just agree to the fight ahead of time without having to go and have the WBO actually order him to make this fight? That looks like just, I'm sorry, dog. I don't like it. Viva2 Vita said, I'm late today, but salute everyone ready for this boxing conversation. Yes, sir. We'll be chopping it up for about an hour on this boxing tip. Yep. Some whole shit. Yeah, it is. Exactly. Adrian Vince said, but Shawn ain't activated his mandatory. Man, Copper Aborigine says, salute Martin Blackwell International Boxing and Chat Boxing family. Yes, sir. So, is it some whole shit or is it not some whole shit? I'm interested to know what the chat has to say. Pull Counter Boxing said, chillin', bro. It's always good to see you, brother. Rich King Solomon. I got to go with the Solomon part. Crawford is going to pull out the fake. Oh, my God. The fake COVID-19. Man, Rich, I would listen to something that John Fury is just a wild boar. Wild boar. He's a wild boy, man. Just accusing Deontay Wilder of all kinds. I don't even think they think before the shit comes out their mouth, man. I don't think they think before it comes out their mouth. That fake ass COVID stuff, man. How are these people gonna jump on calling people conspiracy theorists because people don't believe that a man who is a chronic liar is lying? I don't get it. Vlad's dad in the building. What's going on? Said the purse split would be 60-40. I thought it was 75-25, but that makes it sound a little bit better. Hold on, let me look up these rules. Because I could have sworn WBO purse split. WBO purse split. Purse bid split. Champions with an existing championship, in fights for the title between the champion and the mandatory, held in the country of origin, residence, or nationality of the champion. The champion shall receive 75% of the purse, and the challenger shall receive 25%. 60-40 is somebody else. I'm pretty sure that's what the WBO rule says. The WBO rule is 75-25. So you know that's nothing that Shawn Porter is going to be willing to take at a purse bid. I don't believe. Unless for some reason you've got what is that like? Somebody bids like $12 million on the fight. But hopefully Crawford and Shawn Porter will be able to negotiate something that is more reasonable. But because Shawn kind of needs a fight, you know, if Shawn is gonna, but Shawn already said he ain't about to fight Terence Crawford for no $1 million. So if they are offering somewhere around 1.5, that fight's not happening. I think probably he's gonna need to give Shawn Porter like closer to $4 million to take that fight. Oh, Sadiq Brown. Oh man, hold on, Sadiq, I got you. Yeah, I need you right now slapping him. Hold on 1 second. Let me give you access to the slappage right now. No need to wait around. Sadiq, you have been moderated. Sadiq. There you go. You're up in there. Hey, Southern T Boxing said, I'm telling you, I'm looking at this as the rule. I'm looking at the rule in the WBO rule. And maybe the rule that I'm looking up doesn't apply, but I'll look it up again. I'm looking up WBO purse split. Held pursuant to purse bid. Purse bid rules for the WBO. In here. Here you go. Those are the purse bid rules. Now I didn't read the whole document, so maybe that particular rule doesn't work, but that's what I'm talking about. Southern T Boxing, you still amongst us? Thought old media kidnapped you, man. They made the son type of exception for Shawn because he's a former champ. I'm gonna find it. No worries about it. Hey, Southern T Boxing, if you say that you see that's the case, then that's the case. You know what I'm saying? So the ESPN article said the WBO making an exception based on prior salaries. Okay, that's cool. So then they cool, 60-40. I don't doubt it. Hey, like I'm saying, I looked at the rules and there is a scenario where they can rewrite the rules. So 60-40, that's cool. So that fight's more than likely going to get that fight more than likely is going to be popping off then. Because if they don't take it, because if they go to purse bid, you know Triller's going to try to get that purse bid. So you know that shit's gonna, that fight's probably gonna wind up on Triloger, on Triller. Andrew said, I promise you this is about a black man not controlling boxing. What are you fucking talking about? Nobody controls boxing, dumbass. Andrew Hitlerberger. Mr. Hitlerberger. Please just tell me who controls boxing. Who controls boxing? You know who the most powerful man in boxing is? Al Heyman. Mr. Hillerberger. Seriously. The most powerful man in boxing is Al Heyman. But nobody controls boxing. But do not get it twisted. The most powerful man in boxing is Al Heyman. More powerful than Eddie Hearn. I don't care how many of them damn lessons, how many news articles you got. They're good with the media. More powerful than Bob Arum too. Do you know why? Because he has 2 networks. 2. He has Fox and Showtime working with him, and he's got the biggest stable in boxing. So who controls boxing? The media is the problem. The media is what's holding boxing back. But the PBC is actually, and Showtime and Fox are actually doing a great job with boxing. The problem is you phony ass people that think DAZN is doing some shit. They're trying to plop a UK channel into the middle of America and act like people ain't going to figure out that 90% of the people that fight on that app are from the UK. That's not even an American. That shit's not even an American. That's not even an American channel. It's not our American network. It's a UK network that people are trying to act like is doing something. And nobody watches DAZN. And so since America is the centerpiece, the center country in boxing, and Al Heyman and the PBC are the biggest in the United States, there you go. The biggest chunk of boxing, the player that has control over the biggest chunk of boxing is a black man. Okay, sorry. Don't get mad that Jesus Christ. Get mad that Jesus Christ was born and went to school in Africa and was able to hide and not be seen there. So just you guys suck. That's why you're always pissed at black fighters. Because your fighters in the UK suck, Mr. Hilderberger, whatever the fuck your name is. Exactly. Marlon Kazi said, real shit, Fannon. Al Heyman running shit. Chi-Town love, Fannon. That's what's up. What's up to the Chi? Yeah, you guys really don't like that very much. You don't like that Al Heyman is the guy that really is carrying the most weight in boxing. He really is. All of that other stuff that you guys are doing, publicizing fighters from other countries, yeah, good luck with it. And honestly, every once in a while, you guys give good fights because, hey, you're boxers and it's enjoyable. But don't get it twisted. The PBC is doing very, very well. Hey, can somebody tell me how many years it's been since people said, oh, hit up my IG, Copper, my Twitter is suspended? Oh, man, sorry that you got suspended from Twitter. I need to work harder. I haven't got suspended by Twitter yet. But can somebody tell me how many years it's been that the PBC's been going out of business? Can you guys tell me how many years ago was it that Eddie Hearn said Showtime Boxing was going to be going out of business? Man, think before it's illegal. Yeah, that's right. What's up, man? It says Chi-Town. Chi-Town always in my heart, man. Love Chicago. Love Chicago. Oh, Vita2V said, I don't use Twitter, only IG. Yeah, I use both, man. We got more stuff coming up over there, man. Oh, my man Fellow said, watching from Africa. That's what's up, man. It's been 5 years since they've been going out of business. 5 years since they've been going out of business. How many years since Showtime has been going out of business? Man, they just stop, man. You know what I mean? Said, leave him naked going out his door to the PBC. That Spence fight just lost value. Oh, you're getting out of here. What are you do? You're blabbering shit. What are you talking about? Leave him naked going out his door to the PBC. That Spence fight just lost value. You must be from the UK, man, because that's some babbling shit. I don't know what you're talking about. But don't worry, I'm gonna put you on timeout for a second, man. In a second. Anyway, let's get back to that. Let's get back to the fight at hand. So, Terence Crawford and Shawn Porter. This is going to be the first time. Copper Aborigine said they've been saying that nonsense for years, Martin. Exactly. Marlon Cosby said Eddie Hearn is full of shit because he know PBC got boxing on lock. Seriously, man, I want to know how anybody thinks that they don't have it on lock. ESPN's rating sucks. Donito Lopez. This is going to be the intellectual portion of this. Waddell and Reed controls boxing since they fund Al Heyman's PBC. That is not true at all. Waddell Reed made an initial investment to build the PBC, which means they are a stakeholder in the PBC. The people that fund the PBC are called Fox Sports and Showtime Sports. They're the ones that fund the PBC because when the PBC puts on fights, it's those networks that pay for the fight. They pay a fee to the PBC for the fight. And then on top of it, if there is a pay-per-view option, the boxing fans will also fund the fights. See, that's how business works. You have an investor that says, hey, I will invest in you believing that I will get a return on my investment. Waddell Reed is not pumping out checks every week, every month, every year to the PBC. They are one owner of several, I'm sure, or I would suspect. I'm not sure. I suspect of several owners. However, once that business is established, then it is the fight fans through Fox and through Showtime that actually actually fund the PBC. But let's go this way. Who owns Matchroom then? Who is funding Matchroom? Is DAZN in control of boxing because they're funding Matchroom? Because DAZN is funding Matchroom. without a doubt. That is somebody that is funding Matchroom, DAZN, and DAZN hooked their boat to what I think is a sinking ship. Ringside with LCD said the PBC's investments are not like billionaires that were funding DAZN and stopped. No, I mean, dude, they already had an initial investment. The same thing with the DAZN people. They said that they were gonna. Well, they're not. I don't know. I don't believe they're losing money like those guys are, but they are kind of like the people that invested in it. The people, you have investors that are buying a portion of the company, and then they own stock in the company. That's not really, Vladimir's dad. I think I'm going to trust you, Vladimir's dad. Okay? I'm going to trust Vladimir's dad. I'm going to trust you, Vlad's dad. Okay? Don't let me down on this. All right, Vlad's dad, because I do believe that you're correct. Wilder is a whole D rider. You know what I got to understand, Mo Cheddar? Is there something you find physically attractive about Deontay Wilder? Because seriously, man, I don't get you guys. You know that he's not actually jocking people for celebrity because, you're talking about me. Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking Deontay. You're talking about me being one. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. If your mama's tongue is a dick, yeah, for sure. Ride the shit out of that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I'm sorry, man. Let me get out of here. I can't be talking bad. I had about 9 bad jokes that I was going to use on you, dude. Where do I rank Crawford pound for pound? I snatched him off. I don't rank him. I can't rank him until he fights somebody. As a matter of me, he said, good comeback cause, but I get it. Get out of here, man. I was trying to do and say that his mother was performing fellatio on me. Okay? Made sure I had to figure out how to say that right. Because it was a difficult thing to switch from his, him visualizing me like him with his characteristics. You know what I mean? It was a tough shift. But I dared to be great and make the shift. Why don't you like Crawford anymore? I like Crawford. I don't have any problem with Terence Crawford. I just think that Terence Crawford needs to fight anybody. My problem is when Terence Crawford started saying he wouldn't fight nobody. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't want to fight Shawn Porter. He doesn't want to fight Keith Thurman. He doesn't want to fight. He couldn't come up with the money to fight Danny Garcia, and he didn't want to fight Errol Spence. Once he started saying he didn't want to fight Errol Spence and Shawn Porter, and just get out of here, man. That shit is not going to happen. Anthony Jones said, "What's up? What up, you, my Astro twin? We got the same birthday. Glad to see you back, King. Let's go." Thank you very much, man. Thank you. Yes, sir. Back in the house, back in the building, strong, and everything working properly. Did you hear anything about Jamal saying that he will never fight Andrade or Benavidez? I heard him say that he won't fight Demetrius Andrade, and that's about what's going on with Demetrius Andrade and that stuff with his brother. I did a video earlier today. I released it earlier today. Honestly, man, I'm sick of that. I'm kind of sick of that excuse. Like I thought about it, and I really had to, go back and be like, hold on, man. Jamal, you're not going to fight Demetrius Andrade because of something that happened 5-6 years ago between him and your brother? I mean, are you serious? Like, it's not like Jermell Charlo has suffered from not getting that Demetrius Andrade fight. He might have suffered for a little while, but come on, man. This is for a unified championship at 160 pounds, man. If you're not going to fight him, I mean, for that reason, I don't really, I don't like the reason that they're given for that. I mean, not anymore. I mean, originally, like, I can understand that could hold up the fight for a while, but at a certain point in time, man, it's like, are you going to continue to do that? Because I just thought about it, like, what happens if, and this will never happen with Demetrius Andrade, though. Warning before I say it, because with Eddie Hearn, this will never happen with Demetrius Andrade. He's never going to get his hands on those other two belts. But let's just imagine for a second that Demetrius Andrade is actually able to get a fight with Gennady Golovkin, and he beats Gennady Golovkin, and then he fights whoever fights for the WBA belt, and he gets the WB, and he wins the WBA, right? And he has 3 belts, and Jermall Charlo has 1. Are you telling me that Jermall Charlo is not going to fight him because of some issue that happened with Demetrius Andrade pulling out of a fight with his brother several years ago? I don't like that. I don't like that excuse, man. Honestly, and it's starting to sound like an excuse to me. Just to be real with it, and that's not even me thinking that because Demetrius Andrade is going to be a tough fight for anybody. You guys are talking about something that I'm not saying. Crawford said Crawford will vacate his belt and move up another division. Porter is too aggressive and physical for Crawford, and he knows it. I don't think so. I think Bud will take the fight, provided that they can come up with an acceptable deal. And if it's 60-40, then it's going to be an acceptable deal, because they're going to wind up getting a $10 million bid at least out of Triller if they go to purse bid, or the PBC would guarantee money like that. That's a pay-per-view fight, man. I mean, that is a pay-per-view. Yeah, well, you think that's a pay-per-view fight? It is for me. I don't know about the casual boxing fans, whether or not they're going to be tremendously intrigued by that. But that fight for me is a pay-per-view fight. I would love to see that fight. Mr. Martin, Sadiq Brown in the building said, is it true that Bud gets $1 million from Bob if he doesn't get him a big fight, but he can turn down any fight offered and still get paid? And why are we shocked? So why are we shocked that Bud is a duck? I don't know if I've heard something like that. I don't know for sure, honestly, because I've never seen Bud Crawford's contract, but I did hear something like that. But I do believe the way that it works, though, for sure, is that Bud Crawford's going to have a minimum. He's going to have a minimum that Bob Arum has to pay him per fight, and so if he gets a small fight, he has a minimum that he has to pay him, but more than likely he can set up a scenario where he can negotiate a fight and not agree to sign the fight. There's all kind of stuff that you can do, He said it's $1 million per year if they can't find a fight to agree on. Oh, so you're talking about that minimum that he has, right? You have to pay him at least a minimum of $1 million a year, but if he fights a fight, then he has a $4 million minimum on the fights. So yeah, that'll just depend on. Bud gets $1 million for not having a premier opponent. Well, his co-manager was on talking to Bernie the Boxer, and they said that they got $4 million. They were going to get $4 million for fighting Zepeda. So if that's their guarantee of $3 million plus one, which is somebody who's not a world champion, I don't know how they would define that. But yeah, but like I said, Hey, thanks. This is what's going on, Southern T Boxing. Omar Ali, Bud will take the fight and win. Porter is not a puncher. He's just a physical fighter. Bud has speed and power advantages. Look, I don't know how much of a power. I don't know how many advantages that Terence Crawford has over Shawn Porter. Dude, Shawn Porter is more experienced in big fights than Bud Crawford is. Shawn Porter is a tough fight for anybody. And I do believe that he's somebody that can get up in rounds against Terence Crawford. And I don't think Terence Crawford is going to be setting any traps that's going to knock out Shawn Porter. You know what I mean? I don't see it. I think this is a very, very tough fight for Shawn Porter. I mean, a very tough fight for Terence Crawford, but one that I would definitely say, that it's fair to give him the advantage in. But, he almost went the different distance with Jose Benavidez, So Shawn Porter is going to find a way to win rounds. He's going to find a way to survive. Shawn Porter is also a very, very intelligent fighter. And the performance he put on with Errol Spence Jr. tells you, man, that guy is a top-notch fighter. Top-notch fighter. Southern T Boxing and Sports said if he gets $1 million, if he can't agree on a fight all year, his minimum is $4 million if he fights. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, he's gonna get paid either way, but they got the mandatory. Oh, I drank all my coffee. So my eyes twitching. Need some money. No, I don't. I got some money. But Porter versus Bud means a lot to the division. Man, it means a lot. It really does. It means a lot to boxing, man, because this year has just been so devoid of really good fights, man. Really devoid. A-Side Boxing Talk said, Al set up PBC guys to be successful after boxing, and in turn, they do what he says. This fight won't happen because Porter has been told to back down. Back down? Why has he been told to back down? Why would he be told to back down off of a championship fight? I don't think that's Al Heyman's mode. That's not how Al Heyman has worked, from my understanding. Why would he tell Shawn Porter to back down off of a championship fight? Because who else is he gonna fight? Ashley Knuckles said, Cap, man. Yeah, I appreciate the super chat, Cap, though. But see, even just logically, that doesn't make sense. Why would Al Heyman turn down one of the best couple fights, the best fight that Shawn Porter can get, and a fight that Shawn Porter has been asking for? And on top of it, I don't even believe Al Heyman is Shawn Porter's manager. Shawn Porter's manager is Kenny Porter. So Kenny Porter would be the one to tell him to step down, not the advisor. But there's no reason whatsoever to tell that guy to step down from a fight like that. You know what I mean? He's setting him up for boxing life after boxing, but you need money to do that. So I don't get that, man. And on top of it, I haven't heard anything where Shawn Porter has said anything about that. Matter of fact, I know that Shawn Porter said that he got the go-ahead just last year to fight. Matter of fact, nope, stop. Kenny Porter, who's the manager, father, trainer, and manager of Shawn Porter, said that it was last year, said that he met with Al Heyman, and then Al Heyman gave them a go-ahead to pursue the Terence Crawford fight. So why would Al Heyman now tell him to stop what he told them to go on ahead and do in the first place? Nah, man, that shit doesn't make sense, homie. What's going on, Dwayne Freeman? Salute to you as well. That doesn't pass the muster. Oh, Aborigine said, Martin, that guy makes no business sense. Yeah, that makes no sense. It's the biggest. Let's look at how many fights there are for Shawn Porter that there is for Shawn Porter to make. Shawn Porter could make. He's at 147, okay? 154, big fights at 154 are gone because that's tied up with Jermell Charlo and Brian Castano. The belts for the IBF, the WBA is a smaller fight than the WBO. The IBF and the WBC at 147, those are taken because that's Manny Pacquiao and Errol Spence Jr. fighting for that. So that's not available. Then you have the WBA and you have the WBO. The champion for the WBA is Yordenis Ugas, who Shawn Porter already fought. He already fought him, already beat him. Was he going to have a rematch for the WBA belt? Compare that to the WBO and Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford is a much bigger name and a bigger fight than Yordenis Ugas. So the biggest fight out there for Shawn Porter is the Terence Crawford fight. And if they're making a special exception to make the purse bid 60-40, dude, that's what he's asking for to begin with. You get a $10 million purse bid on the fight. You walk away with $4 million plus a percentage of the pay-per-view. Seems like a really good deal to me, and that's a huge and I think that's a huge fight. I woke up when I saw that, I was like, yes, I'm excited about that, man. Bud ain't fighting Porter. He's leaving the 154. I don't think he's going to the 54. What's he going to do at 54? There's nothing for him to do there because all the belts are tied up. I mean, what would you advise him to do? You would advise him to, okay, Shawn, let's move to 154 to fight Erickson Lubin. No money in that. Let's fight Jermell Charlo. Well, you can't get the Jermell Charlo fight because Jermell Charlo is looking at the rematch with Brian Castano or the different or he might have to fight mandatories. Look, man, hey, you guys got to use some common sense. I'm serious, man. News articles are one thing, but you can really get far by using your common sense and walking through the options that the fighters have. Shawn Porter does not have that many more fights in his career. He may be fighting, 4 more times, 5 more times, something like that. He's going to want championship fights. He wants to get a chance to get that championship, and he wants a rematch with Errol Spence. He's already said that he wants a rematch with Errol Spence. So it just common sense would tell you that this is the biggest fight for him, man. This year sucks for boxing. Somebody said it's a great year for boxing. Jerry Mariani said, great year for boxing, the best fight, fighting the best. I think there's some good fights coming up. There's been good fights this year. I think the Errol Spence fight and Manny Pacquiao fight's good. I think that I'm looking forward to that Alexander Usyk versus Anthony Joshua fight. Strangely, with all this Tyson Fury stuff, I've kind of forgotten all of my angst that I had for Anthony Joshua. But the Anthony Joshua Alexander Usyk fight's a good fight. The Deontay Wilder Tyson Fury 3 fight is a good fight. We could use some more fights, man. We could use, but like things like the Jermall Charlo versus Montiel, I didn't actually get to see the fight, but on paper, it's like, who cares, really? But we did get to see the Jermell Castano fight. But you know what is interesting? Oh, I'm looking forward to the Guillermo Rigondeaux versus Casimiro. But the fights get better in the second half of the year because that's the half of the year that the PBC puts their fights on. So the second half of the year tends to be better in boxing than the first half of the year because Matchroom puts on shit fights like all year long and gets the media acting like dude, like you ain't building no fighters, man. And ugh. Yeah, that's how I have to say. Ugh. Smooth Group Boxing said, Crawford better tighten up his bootstraps. Here comes Shawn Porter, but I think he beats Porter easy. I don't know, man. I don't think there's anything easy. I don't think there's anything easy about fighting Shawn Porter. Except for I don't know how Shawn Porter fights with southpaws, but I don't think it's going to be an easy fight for him because it wasn't an easy fight for Errol Spence Jr. and Errol Spence Jr. was pressing the gas on him. So I don't know, dude. I can't see like Terence Crawford takes maybe the first round or two to figure the guy out, trying to figure out and set up shots, see which shots he's going to line up. But Shawn Porter is not somebody that you're going to figure out like that because he can fight in multiple styles. He can maul you and get close to you and grapple and make it an ugly fight, or he can fight you from the outside. And he's got a really good chin, man. What's going on, Mr. Hamka? Musa Hamka said, salute, Fannon, hi from Australia. What's going on out there in Australia, man? Mr. MJ Jamandri said, if Bud gets this one against Porter, this is the only time I consider Bud as an elite 147 because Porter is a big test for him. It's time to test Bud's chin if that can really hold up. There you go. You hit it on the head. Because if he'd been beat, I'll put it this way. If he beats Shawn Porter, he's number one pound for pound in my book. Because that means because I think Shawn Porter is probably the number, not counting himself, right? Of the three top guys, I think he's the number two hardest fight that Shawn Porter could have. I mean he's the second hardest fight that Terence Crawford can have at 147. The first hardest is Errol Spence. After that, I think the second hardest is probably Shawn Porter. Because Shawn Porter is just very, very, very smart, man. Errol Spence is Joe Louis in a welterweight body. Y'all don't see that. Oh, he definitely is tearing him up. He's definitely fights that's similar. Yeah, that's a good point, man. I like that. I have never thought about that. I'll look at the tapes, but I think you might be right. Al Green said, Porter's about to put on his foot helmet on and beat Bud's ass. See, that's what I'm saying. If you get that Shawn Porter, I don't know how Bud's going to I think, matter of fact, that is the type of Shawn Porter that needs to come to the fight. He needs to be that mauling, grabbing, ugly, that just type of fight. If he puts Terence Crawford in that fight, who knows how that fight's going to turn out, you know? Is Mean Machine a big puncher? Heck, no. And you know that, dog. And you know that. P. Good, Ennis is a tougher fight for Bud because of his power. I don't know. Experience matters, dude. You know, experience matters a lot. I don't know if he's the toughest fight or not. Really. Muhammad Hassan, you have always been a Bud hater. And what difference does that make? Am I saying something is wrong? You know what I mean? Have you said, hey, guess what? I've always been a, I don't know what a liver hater. Liver tasted nasty and gross to me. I don't like liver. Are you going to tell me the liver tastes good to me? So what? And I've not always been a Bud hater. Trust me, I hadn't even heard of Bud Crawford until I was like 40 years old. So I don't know what you're talking about. I had 40 whole years of not knowing who the fuck Bud was. So on multiple levels of that dumb shit, you know, so what? And even if I am one, so what? Am I saying something that's not true? Please let me know when I say something that's not true. You know what I'm saying? So like your shit is just fucked up on at least 3 different levels. Number one, I have not always hated him. I haven't known who the fuck he was for the vast majority of my life. Number two, I don't hate, even if I am a hater, so what? Tell me where I'm wrong. Am I a Bud liar? Am I lying on Bud? No. Has Bud fought is Bud to date fought anybody that's a top welterweight? No. Has Bud been in a champion in that weight division for 3 years? Yes. So in 3 years, and let me count the fights. Year number 1, Jeff Horn, Jose Benavidez. Year 2, who was he year 2? I know there's Amir Khan. I know there was, man, I'm forgetting all the bums. Let me research these bums. Sorry. I'm so glad that they did. Terence Crawford. I try to forget who he fought, man. Terence Crawford. All right. Let's see. Let's see this stellar record from this top-notch fighter. Jeff Horn, Jose Benavidez, Amir Khan, Egis Kalvanakis, Kell Brook. That is 5 fighters. And that is 2006 of 2018. We, my friend, are in the 7th month of 2021. That is all of 2018, all of 2019, all of 2020. That is 3 solid years. 3 solid years. And in fact, it was 3 years that he's been the champion last month. 3 years last month. How many years is it going to be, man? Real Talk Podcast. Live Bud is a great fighter, but Shawn Porter will wax him, knock Bud out in 6 rounds. Salute for 9. He predicting the knockout. That's a huge one. I don't know, man, about that KO. I think it's going to be a 12-round split decision for somebody. Heck no, he ain't walking through him. But the thing is, here's the thing for Bud. Bud has been fighting such a low level of competition. Such a low level of competition. I don't know, like, what's he going to do to pick it up? You know? Think about it. If you got, when's the last time he fought somebody that was a top level fighter? Maybe Victor Postol at 28-0 or no. Yuriorkis Gamboa. And that, I mean, seriously, the last top-notch fighter that he fought was at lightweight, and that was 7 years ago against Yuriorkis Gamboa. 7 years ago against Yuriorkis Gamboa. Stanley Bailey said all these Bud bootlickers are afraid Bud may lose and all that hype he has right now. You know, I don't even get to see. I need to be looking in here to see if I can get all, when I see all that. I don't get to see all the haters, man, from my standpoint. Gamboa, Mo Box is saying Gamboa hurt Bud. These guys are drunk. It's Thirsty Thursday. Yeah, I don't, you know, honestly, man, thank you to my moderators, because I don't know if you guys get this. If you're going to try to, like, you're trying to troll me, we got a cleanup crew just sweeping you out as you do it. And I honestly, for real, I don't even get to see it. Like most of it, I got to read a comment before I'll know if one of you guys are being smartasses. So, you know, waste your time if you want to, but because the wrenches are going to eat, man. I don't stand in between that. Whoa, Postol and Benavidez are very good fighters. Both look, Benavidez. Let me look at Benavidez. Benavidez, I'm pretty sure, had one fight in 2 years before he fought him. Like against a nobody, and never fought exactly. Gone. Yeah, he had 2 fights against guys named Frank Rojas and Matthew Strode. But before that, had only fought 1 time in 3 years because he had a gunshot wound to the leg. And he hasn't fought, and he didn't fight again after that for the last 3 years. He hasn't fought after that for 3 years. I mean, just no. Mr. Hamka, Bud needs to leave Arum. He's wasting his time. There is tough competitions at PBC and more money to make too. Well, it seems like Bud ain't gonna get that easy $4 million he was looking for against Zepeda. And you can't tell me these guys don't got the mentality that they want that easy money. It seems like they want easy money. Oh, Robert Patterson said you don't ring the gong no more. It's you know what? I'll go back to ringing the gong, but the gong is broken. I gotta get it fixed, but I'll fix it and I'll have it ready for tomorrow. I'll do the gong. Yeah, I stopped ringing the gong because my gong broke. Martin, they drunk if they think Bud gonna walk through Porter. Yeah, they're not. They're tripping on that one. You know what I'm saying? I would see hey, in the comment section, tell me put what percentage who you got in the fight. Put who you got in the fight, the name of who you got in the fight, and let me see who most of the people got in the fight. But if you say Bud or you say Shawn, give me a percentage like 60-40, 70-30. Like for me, I got it about a 60-40 for Bud. I got it 60-40 for Bud because I've not seen Bud lose. But I'm telling you, it is going to be a much more difficult fight than Bud has had before because Shawn Porter is a very smart fighter, man. The news said Bud just want easy money. Arrows taking. Oh, here. Oh, that popped quick. Let me read these. Sorry. So Mo City said 55% Bud. Oh, D'Avron said 50-50. That's fair. 60-40 for Bud. The news said Bud just want easy money. Arrows taking the stiffest competition time after time. I got Shawn 100%. Copper Aborigine say, please get it fixed. Yeah, okay, for sure. I'll fix it tomorrow. It'll be there for sure. 5 Plays said 99% Bud all day. Ayanda Milambo says Showtime 70%. FSU OKC WG3 said Bud in controversial decision 55-45. Or Gorg said Bud 70%. Damon Smith, Bud 60%. Shawn 40%. Postal beat Matisse and Chop Chop. Yeah, but I don't really. But Lucas Matisse, yeah. Hold on. Did Postal beat Matisse? Are you sure? Oh yeah, I guess that is who he beat. Who the first? I thought that Danny Garcia was the first to beat. I thought Danny Garcia was the first to beat Matisse. Yeah, he knocked out Lucas Matisse right before that fight. Yeah, but Lucas Matisse was already washed at that point in time. Lucas Matisse was already washed at that point in time. That's after Danny Garcia had already beaten him. So, the gig was up on him. Man, I'm glad you guys said you want to do the gong. I can get the gong back for sure. James said, Fannon, you're a smart guy, but Bud will walk through Porter. Bud has problems with tall fighters with a good jab. Benavidez and Brooks gave him problems. Porter, no jab, too small. Man, Shawn Porter is a much tougher fighter than Jose Benavidez, man. Shawn Porter does not have a problem with that. But okay, if that's your take on it, I'll go with it. I mean, I'll go with it for the sake of your comment and say, okay, cool, that makes sense. I don't see Shawn Porter getting walked through by anybody, man. If Errol Spence Jr. didn't walk through him, Terence Crawford's not going to walk through him because Terence Crawford doesn't walk. First of all, Terence Crawford, they said, thus the reason Garcia wanted no parts of Postal. I don't know what to say about Victor Postal other than Victor Postal ain't all that, man. He probably didn't want anything to do with him because he wasn't making any money. And Danny Garcia is a PBC fighter, and Victor Postal fights for Top Rank. Victor Postal is a Top Rank fighter. Let me make sure. Let me see who did this event. Yeah, he's still Brad Goodman, promoter Bob Arum. Yeah. Victor Postal is a Bob Arum fighter. Victor Postal is going to fight people that Bob Arum want him to fight. That's not anything related to not wanting parts of him, you know? Colin Moore, he said that's the reason Garcia wanted no parts of Postal. Garcia is promoted by Al Heyman. Postal is managed by or promoted by Top Rank. Those are two separate sides of the street. Victor Postal fought Lucas Matisse. Lucas Matisse, yeah, they did get that Lucas Matisse fight done, though. So that's interesting stuff. I got to go back and look at that. We need a rematch between Spence and Paul. Oh, man, that would be incredible, incredible, incredible. That was an incredible fight, man. Said this man just said Errol got no good punch placement. Does not have good punch. He has very precise punch placement. Excellent punch placement. But look, man, I'm going to roll out of here today. Make sure you guys check me out tomorrow. And, hey, the gong will be back. So for the super chats, I'm going to be hitting the gong. Thank you guys for asking. I'll bring it back. I didn't want to be obnoxious with it, but I definitely will bring it back for tomorrow. Thank you guys for everything, and for everybody coming out. And I'm going to catch you on the live stream coming up tomorrow. And with that, I'm out. Peace.